climate temperatures are likely to bring considerable challenges to the agriculture sector. As per NDMA reports, the recent floods caused 1,725 deaths, the destruction of over 2 million houses, the death of more than 1 million cattle, the demolition of around 450 bridges and around 13,000 plus kilometers of roads and railway tracks. Agriculture is the most hit sector due to the recent floods, creating a serious challenge for food security. Nearly 70% of the Kharif crops in Sindh province have been destroyed by torrential rains and flash floods. World Bank has predicted about 2% GDP growth during the current financial year to be negatively impacted by this climate disaster. Urgent, tangible and implementable steps are needed if Pakistan wants to escape the catastrophic impacts of climate change. Climate-smart agriculture is an integrated approach to managing landscapes, cropland, livestock, forests and fisheries that address the interlinked challenges of food security and accelerating climate change investment in CSA would be required to ensure a stable food supply in this dynamic economy in the face of climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are well aware, that Pakistan possesses one of the world's largest contiguous irrigation systems, the Indus Basin Irrigation System. It commands an area of about 35 million acres, encompassing the Indus water and its major tributaries, making irrigated agriculture the backbone of the national economy. The level of agriculture production is directly related to the availability and effective and efficient use of water as a major input. The increasing demand for water, energy, food, and ecosystem restoration has necessitated further development of water resources. To address the myriad issues of water, energy, food, and ecosystem, the government of Pakistan in April 2018 approved the country's national water policy, with the consensus of all the provinces, which highlighted the key principles and targets along with investment requirements needed by 2030. Unfortunately, after 2018, when we left our previous government, the next government did not follow up on that policy, and as a result, what Ms. Simi was saying, that the Water Council could not be constituted, I'll follow up on that and we'll have it done as early as possible. During the current financial year, total allocations for water resources sector are rupees 97.6 billion, which is 12% of the total PSDP of rupees 800 billion. And this also is a tragedy. In 2018, when we left the government, the public sector development program was about 1,000 billion rupees. So after 4 years, when we returned, it was reduced to 550 billion and now 800 billion for this year, which I think is very insignificant, and that actually calls for a much greater effort to revive the economy so that we have the resources to invest, whether it is water resources, human resources, or other needs of the growth of economy. Besides, rupees 42.7 billion has been allocated for power division and 9.3 billion for climate change division. For the country's water and food security, the construction of 2 mega storage dams, the Amir Bhasha Dam and Moman Dam hydropower projects have been initiated. These, together with other small dams, would add 10 million acre-feet storage by 2030. And again, sad state of affairs that this new storage capacity probably will only make up for the capacity that we have lost due to silting in Mangla and Tarbela. So we are not doing something additional, we are only making up for the loss, and that I think is a serious question for us, that how do we add our capacity and capability to store more water. Recently, Nolang Multipurpose Dam and Chashma Right Bank Canals have been approved by ACNEC, which together would bring 333,000 acres of barren land under cultivation, thus bringing socio-economic uplift in the project areas. Distinguished guests, for the country's energy security, the government is striving hard to harness the identified environmental friendly hydropower potential of over 42,000 megawatts. Generation capacities available in the upper Indus Basin known as Indus Cascade, in a drop of more than 7,000 feet within a stretch of 500-kilometer length. The country is promoting investor-friendly policies to offer a conducive environment for potential investors to invest in the environment-friendly hydropower projects under BOT and BOOT basis. Construction of 720 megawatt Karot hydropower project and 887 megawatt Suki Kanari hydropower project are the recent examples. Besides, 1124 megawatt Kohala and 600 megawatt Mahal hydropower project has also been awarded under the BOT agreement. For water conservation, the construction of 100 of small and medium dams in Balochistan and other provinces have been completed, bringing hundreds of thousands of barren land under cultivation. And unfortunately, most of these small dams in Balochistan have been severely damaged or destroyed by the flash floods that were caused by the recent climate disaster. Rainwater harvesting and high-efficiency irrigation systems have been introduced in many projects for improved water use efficiency and high-level productivity. A project titled Transforming the Indus Basin with Climate-Resilient Agriculture and Water Management has been initiated by a Food and Agriculture Organization from grant funding from Green Climate Fund and Punjab ADP. A similar project is in pipeline in Sindh as well.